Let's talk about road trips. I don't know about you, but I freaking love them. And I've been on so many over the years. I even did one around the entire island of Iceland. It's about hitting the open road, rolling down the windows, and letting the scenery evolve mile by mile. For me, they're the perfect way to get from point A to point B, but also explore new places and hidden gems and things that I wouldn't see if I was just flying somewhere. It opens up a world of new, amazing places to see, especially in places like the desert of the Southwest. This time I was in Phoenix for Thanksgiving and I had a few days to kill after the holiday, so I decided to just go for a road trip. 3-day road trip and explore Arizona and Utah and go to some of my favorite places in Utah, like Moab, and also explore a lot of new places that I'd never been to before. And I discovered a lot of incredible places. Like just mind-blowing. I love the desert of the Southwest. And when I say incredible, I mean jaw-dropping everywhere you look. When you're driving through these areas, you want to stop almost every mile and take it all in. But that would take a while. Maybe it's because of how small it makes you feel, or the incredible geology, or that every nook and cranny holds something totally unexpected and new to see. I mean, you could explore the desert for days, years, months, and you would see new things every time you went down a different canyon or a different road. There's just so much to see there. It's also a place where I get this sense of calm and quiet peacefulness that's kind of hard to describe if you've never felt something like that before, or you've been in these places and felt that. And while I was there, I went to a handful of amazing places. And you know what they all have in common? They were all very different, but they had one thing in common: the beautiful red sandstone. And some of these were world famous spots that I'm sure you've seen before, but some were hidden gems with their own unique charm and kind of everything in between too. This road trip was the perfect reminder of why the desert of the Southwest is one of the most awe-inspiring places in the world. Like, hands down, one of the most awe-inspiring places. So let's jump in. My first stop, Moab. And if you've ever been here before, you'll know exactly why this place holds a special place in my heart. There's something about it. The way the massive red rocks tower over you, the endless canyons carved by the Colorado River snaking its way through the desert. It's like stepping onto another world where everywhere you go and everywhere you look, there's something new and amazing to discover. Moab is one of these spots that outdoor lovers dream about, because whether it's hiking, biking, rock climbing, or exploring with a motor, there's something here for everyone to see and do. But for me, this trip wasn't about ticking off the classic national parks like Arches and Canyonlands. Now, don't get me wrong, they're really cool places, but they're also extremely crowded. No matter when you go, they're always crowded. And I like to find a little bit quieter places that are just as impressive. This is where Corona Arch comes in. Now, I don't know if this one really qualifies as a hidden gem because it's really easy to get to and it's right outside of Moab, but there's way less crowds than the parks and it still has that same wow factor. Like, honestly, when you see it, it's just mind-blowing. And to top it off, you can take your dogs there, which you can't do in most national parks. The Trail to Corona Arch it's an easy one to get to, and that's why I'm suggesting it, because it's right off the highway. It's 15 minutes outside of Moab, and the hike is 30, 45 minutes depending on how quick you hike. It's the perfect mix. It's not too long, it's not too steep, and every step you take towards the arch, the views get better and better. The more you walk up the trail, the more you're surrounded by this awesome landscape. Massive rock walls rise up on either side of you, the desert sun illuminates the sandstone, and just when you think it can't get any better, you catch your first glimpse of Bowtie Arch and Corona Arch. They're both incredible. Bowtie Arch is really cool because it's like someone just cut a skylight in the rock. Corona Arch is way bigger than you think. It's huge. It's one of the biggest ones outside of Arches National Park. It's 105 feet tall and 140 feet wide. It's so big, in fact, that people used to fly planes through it. Mother Nature took millions of years to carve this masterpiece, and it's here for us to admire now. That's one of the incredible things about the Moab area. There are so many incredible geological features everywhere around here. So if you want to get away from the crowds, it's really easy. You can go up any canyon, up any road, and you're gonna find something that's absolutely amazing, and it'll take your breath away. And from Moab, I made my way down to Monument Valley, which I'm sure you've seen pictures of, or you've seen it in a movie like Forrest Gump. It has to be one of the most iconic landscapes in the world. But trust me, seeing it in person is a completely different experience. The buttes and the rock formations, they're absolutely massive. And you start to see them from miles and miles away, and then as you get closer and closer, you're like, whoa, these things are huge and so impressive. My first stop, of course, had to be the Forrest Gump viewpoint. You know the spot. It's the one where he gets to the end of his run and he turns around to his followers and says, "I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now," and then scurries off. That's this spot. It's iconic, but honestly, that stretch of road is so much more than just one famous movie scene. There are viewpoints all along the road, and every single view is like a postcard. There's Brigham's Tomb, the Mittens, and Stagecoach Butte, just to name a few. Each stop along the way is absolutely jaw-dropping. And if you're lucky enough to see this spot during sunset, you will be blown away. Honestly, the color of the rocks when the sunset is hitting it, it's like this bright, saturated, orangish red, and it's just so beautiful. This was my first time ever going here, and I have to say, Monument Valley didn't just meet my expectations, it honestly exceeded them, because these rock formations are just so impressive. It's so crazy how Mother Nature can carve these things, and they just look so freaking cool. The one caveat with this place is it's pretty busy. I was there in the off season, and there were people and cars everywhere, so trying to get a clear picture of the Forrest Gump spot that everybody wants is practically impossible. So just be prepared for that. And this is honestly something that you can expect when you're visiting any of these popular parks or very accessible parks. And the next spot, unfortunately, is no different. But it's incredible. It's worth it. It's worth the crowds, I think. Yeah, it's worth the crowds. Horseshoe Bend. It's one of those places you've probably seen hundreds and hundreds of times on Instagram. Photos of it are everywhere. And you might think there's no way it's that impressive in person. But I can promise you, it is. Photos honestly don't do this place justice. When you get there, the first thing that hits you is the scale. The canyon is huge. The red rock cliffs drop away beneath you, and the Colorado River snakes its way through the bottom like a glassy blue ribbon. The contrast between the fiery reds and the deep blues with a hint of pink is just breathtaking. I think the best part about my visit here was I timed it perfectly to be there at sunset. And I am so glad that I did that, because desert sunsets are like nothing else. And this day was amazing. The sunset changed colors so many times. It was red, it was pink, it was purple, it was orange. It was every color you could want out of a sunset. And when you think about some of the most beautiful things that you've ever seen in your life, this would probably be pretty high on the list. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Horseshoe Bend is a tourist hotspot, probably one of the biggest on Earth. There were a ton of people there. And this is in the off season. There was probably 1,000 people standing there on the side of this cliff. Now, the nice thing here is that a lot of these people are focused on trying to get shots in only a couple little spots. So if you kind of explore out a little bit, you can find other outcroppings where you can get the shot, and it's essentially the same. People just go to where all the barriers are. But there's a ton of other places all along the edge of the canyon that you can go and get incredible photographs. And you might not be in that one perfect centered spot, but you're close enough and it looks just as good. I promise you. Don't worry about it. Now the next spot is the one that I was probably most excited about. I've wanted to visit a slot canyon for as long as I can remember. The first time I saw one, I was like, I want to go see a slot canyon. So, since I was in the area where there are slot canyons all over, I decided to go check one out. Now, most people go and see Antelope Canyon, Upper and Lower Antelope Canyon, and I did a little bit of research and I decided to go see Antelope X, which is one that hasn't been open nearly as long, and it's truly impressive. Unlike the other more famous canyons, this one is far less crowded, and that made all the difference. On the surface, the landscape is just desert. It's sand and sagebrush, and you wouldn't think that there's these hidden gems underneath it all. But then when you realize it, you're like, whoa, this is incredible, because they started out as these little tiny cracks in the desert, and then over millions and millions of years, the water just carved away and created these otherworldly places. Like, I've never seen anything like it. They're one of the coolest things, one of the coolest natural wonders that I've ever seen in my life. The walls of the canyon are mesmerizing. Smooth, wavy sandstone that feels alive with the color. As you move through, the hues shift from orange to pink to tan, changing with the light and your perspective. I booked one of their photography tours, and lucky me, I was the only one on the tour, so it was great. My guide let me wander at my own pace, giving me the space to capture the beauty and really soak it all in. It was quiet, peaceful, and completely awe-inspiring. And there's actually a lot of human history in these canyons too. During the Long Walk of the Navajo people in the 1860s, a brutal campaign where they were forcibly removed from their lands by the US government, leaders like Hastine Tattadine used the canyons to hide and protect their people and sheep deep within the narrow walls to shield them from the soldiers. The slot canyons, with their twisting paths and high hidden walls, became sanctuaries. When you stand here and you think about how these canyons were a symbol of hope and survival for these people, it kind of changes the way that you see them. It's incredible to think about the layers of history that are hidden in these walls. As I walked through Antelope X, I couldn't help but feel a sense of reverence, both because of the beauty of this place and also the strength of the people who use them as a sanctuary. Antelope X was perfect for capturing stunning photos. It was also the place that gave me the best feeling out of all these places. It's like stepping into another world. Like, it's not something you see anywhere else in the world. So when you see it, it's otherworldly. There's no service down here. There's so much to see and admire, and your senses almost feel heightened. The combination of quiet solitude, natural wonder, and powerful history makes it a place you'll carry with you long after you've left. Now, these last two hidden gems are really easy to get to. They're right off I-17 and really close to Sedona. The first one is Montezuma Castle. Now, if you've never heard of it, this isn't your typical castle. It's a cliff dwelling that was built high into the limestone cliff about 800 to 1,000 years ago by the Sinagua people. It's a 5-story structure with 20 rooms that almost feels like it's part of the rock itself. It blends in so well. Standing there, you can't help but marvel at the skill and ingenuity that these people had who built it. They didn't just build a small structure like a lot of cliff dwellings you see. They used the natural landscape to their advantage. That hole in the cliff that they built it in protected them from the elements, but also threats from below, from other people and tribes. And then the valley below was also fertile, so they were able to grow a lot of crops like corn down there. It's a testament to the resourcefulness and ability to thrive in what seems like a really challenging environment. Now, you can't go inside the castle, but just standing here looking up at it, it's really cool to see. It makes you think about what life must have been like back then. What was it like living in it and climbing up there every day? What were their daily lives like? And how did they manage to build something like this back then? The Sinagua people were experts at living in harmony with the land. They used all the resources around them, the adobe, the stone, the wood, to construct this massive structure in the rock face. And it's been there for centuries now, which is crazy because I can guarantee that none of our houses in America, at least, are going to be here centuries from now, 800 to 1,000 years. No, probably not. And finally, the last stop on this road trip is the Crane Petroglyph Heritage Site. It's a small, unassuming spot, but it's packed with history. On a single wall of sandstone, you'll see hundreds of intricate carvings, images of animals, spirals, zigzags. There's a really cool looking snake that I saw on there, and what looks like a scene from daily life. It's incredible how many carvings are here, because a lot of the petroglyph sites that you see don't have nearly this many. It's just kind of a small handful of them. This one, they're all over this wall. What really blows my mind is thinking about the people who made these petroglyphs over 1,000 years ago. What were they trying to communicate? Were these spiritual symbols, hunting guides, or stories being passed down to the next generation? Experts have some guesses, but we'll never really know, and that's part of what makes places like this so special. You can really just let your imagination run. This place really surprised me. You'd never expect something like this to be right here because it was just kind of an unassuming valley that it sat in. There weren't that many rocks around like this. And so for this one big rock to be right here and have all these petroglyphs on it, it must have been a really special place to these people. And this wall isn't just a bunch of random doodles. This was something special to these people. So it had some meaning behind it. I'd love to know what it was. The Crane Petroglyph Heritage Site might be small, but it's a powerful reminder of how ancient cultures left their mark. Not just on the land, but on history itself. This road trip reminded me why I love the desert Southwest so much. The landscapes here are unlike anything else in the world. The red sandstone, the massive scale of everything, and the incredible history that's woven into it all. It's a place that makes you feel small, but in the best way possible. If this inspires you to plan your next adventure or road trip, I hope you take the time to really appreciate the places that you go. Whether it's a slot canyon or a historic site or a famous viewpoint, there's always something to learn and appreciate. And the Southwest has so much to experience. And with that, thanks for coming on this journey with me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.